You just opened the fridge for the third time tonight. Nothing looked right. You closed it anyway. That small, restless search for food happens almost automatically. But the real answer for why you do it is far stranger than hunger. For most of human history, there was no fridge. No menu, no guarantee of a next meal at all. Your ancestors lived inside a puzzle that had to be solved every single day. What was safe to eat? What would kill them? What was worth the risk of chasing? Here is the twist. They were not eating steak around a campfire every night. That image is mostly Hollywood. The real diet was stranger, messier, and far more varied. Anthropologist Richard Wrangham has argued that the true turning point for humans was not meat. It was fire. Cooking food broke down fibers and proteins before they ever reached the stomach. That meant more calories, absorbed faster, for less chewing. Your ancestors' guts actually shrank over generations because cooked food did digestion's hard work outside the body. Cooking, not hunting, may be what freed up the energy for a bigger brain. But before fire became reliable, and even long after, most calories came from something far less glamorous. Roots, tubers, nuts, insects, shellfish scraped off rocks at low tide. Researcher Richard Leakey's work in East Africa found early hominins scavenging marrow from bones left behind by larger predators, cracking them open with simple stone tools. Not proud lion-style hunting, opportunistic scavenging, using tools smarter than muscle. Think about that for a second. Your ancestors were not always the top of the food chain. Sometimes they were closer to the cleanup crew. Diet shifted constantly with geography. Coastal groups leaned on fish and shellfish, rich in the fatty acids linked to brain development. Inland groups relied more on plants, seeds, and whatever game they could catch. There was no single caveman diet. There were thousands of them, shaped entirely by whatever the local land offered. And foraging was not a desperate scramble. Anthropologist Marjorie Shostak's research among the Kungsan people of the Kalahari, one of the last observed hunter-gatherer societies, found something surprising. They often worked fewer hours per week gathering food than a modern person spends at a full-time job. Nature was demanding, but not always punishing. Skilled foragers knew exactly which plants were in season, where water pooled after rain, and which insects were safe protein. That is the part that gets left out of the mythology. Survival was not constant chaos, it was knowledge. Deep, generational, passed-down knowledge about a landscape, held in memory because there was no other place to store it. So why does that restless fridge search still happen to you? Because your brain never got the memo that scarcity ended. It still treats food access like it might disappear tomorrow. Every walk to the kitchen, even when you're not truly hungry, is an old survival circuit firing in a world it no longer recognizes. Modern abundance is new. Genetically, you are still running old software built for unpredictability. Built for a world where a fatty piece of marrow or a ripe fruit was not a snack. It was insurance against a lean week ahead. That is why certain foods still feel irresistible. Sugar, fat, salt. These were rare and valuable signals in the ancestral landscape, worth craving because they meant real caloric security. Now they sit stacked on every shelf, and your brain still reacts to them like they're precious. You are not weak for craving them. You are ancient. Every trip to that fridge is a quiet echo of ancestors who never knew where the next meal was coming from and who survived by paying very close attention to exactly that question. So tonight, when you open the fridge again for no clear reason, you are not just hungry. You are carrying tens of thousands of years of a mind built to never take food for granted, wired long before there was ever a light that turned on when the door opened.